Good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning here in Seattle, Washington, and I'm starting a new series because it is the yahrtzeit, is the anniversary of the passing of my grandfather, Mordechai ben Eliyahu A, and it is also today the yahrtzeit of Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin, as I was informed by my Facebook friend, Elchanan. Shout out to you. And in addition, my father-in-law's yahrtzeit is coming up soon, Elchanan Nachum ben Yitzchak, and I'd like to learn something in their memory. So we're starting Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin's own sefer, Nefesh haChayim, and let's see what we can learn. So it begins Sha'ar Aleph, the first gate, Perek Aleph, chapter 1, with a beautiful idea explaining simply what it means when we talk about the image of Hashem in the Torah. So, as we know, let's begin. It says, K'siv, it's written, sorry about the band-aid, Vayivra Elohim es ha'adam mitzalmoi. It says in Genesis, that in chapter 1, verse 26, that God created Adam, he created man, B'tzalmai, in his image. B'tselem Elohim bara oisai. He created him in the image of God. V'chein k'siv, and it's also written in chapter 9, verse 6, Ki b'tselem Elohim asa es ha'adam. For he made man in the image of God. What does that mean? What does it mean that he made man in the image of God? Someone just joined. Simona, welcome. I will wave at you. And, okay. Here is the depth of the meaning of image when we talk about the image in this context, the image of God. And is one of the deepest concepts of all thought concepts. It's included in this as many of the deep teachings of the Zohar, the Kabbalistic work called Zohar. However, let's talk about what the word image means altogether. Based on what the early commentators tell us, who explained according to the plain meaning. Al pasuk nasa adam b'tzalmenu kidmusenu. When we look back at that pasuk, on that verse in Genesis 1:26, let us make man in our image as our likeness. What does that mean? Hello, tzvi. Vehu ki milas tselem udmuskan einay kemashmai. The word tselem, image, and dmus, likeness, is non-literal. Ki kosov mefoirash umad mustar chulai. Because it is a open verse in Isaiah, Yeshaya, chapter 40, verse 18. It says, what image can you make for him? Meaning Isaiah makes a declaration that there is no physical likeness of God. So what does it mean when the Torah talks about a likeness of God? Ele Pirushai, here's what it means. Dimyon ma be'ezeh davar. There is some similarity here between this and something else. Here we're talking about Hashem, we're talking about God. There's some similarity with God that we are referring to. The word demus, likeness, is related to the Hebrew word dimyon, which means similarity. For example, we find in Tehillim and Psalms, chapter 102, verse 7, that King David says, Domisi lik'as midbar. I am similar to a ka'as, a ka'as is some type of a bird. A ka'as midbar, I'm like a desert ka'as. I'm like a desert bird. So, what does it mean to be, he's like a desert bird? It doesn't mean that King David suddenly grew wings and a beak Is that what King David means when he says, I am like a desert bird? He says he has wings and a beak? Certainly not. He didn't change his form, his physical form, into the form of this bird. But since David was wandering, there were many periods of his life where he was basically homeless and wandering from place to place. In that way, his actions were similar to those of this desert bird, and therefore he compares himself to this bird. This bird is a bird which travels from place to place. That is the meaning of when we talk about a likeness. According to the early commentaries, it means a similarity in some way. And also tselem, image, is going to have a similar meaning. These two words are synonyms. Okay, we're going to pause here because this is the end of chapter 1 of Nefesh haChayim, when he begins to just flesh out what the meaning of image and likeness is. Hi, David. When you hear Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin fleshes out what the meaning of image and likeness is, and once we know what image and likeness is, then we can talk about what is the image of God, what is the likeness of God, and then we can talk about how that applies to man, and that we'll explore more in the next chapter. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time.